So now that you have your game set up nicely after episode 1 of this guide series, it's time to learn how to actually play Rocket League. So in this episode, we're going to go over the various training options available to you so that you can start your journey to become the best player that you can possibly be. Now before we get started, I just want to remind everyone that I stream every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday over on Twitch, and if you have any other questions about the game, or even if you just want to hang out, feel free to fire on over there. There's a link in the description below, and I always really appreciate the company. You can also leave any questions that you have in the comments down below, because I always read and respond to any questions on my videos, so feel free to do that, and please be sure to subscribe to the channel, because that really does help me out. But in the meantime, let's get on with all the good information. Okay, so anyone who has seen my previous beginner's guide should remember this step, but if you're very new to the game, the very first thing you should do to learn how to play this game is the tutorial. Seriously, do not skip this step. You might think it's beneath you because you've got experience in other games, but I promise you, it is not beneath you. As I said in the last one, I played a good number of hours before even considering to do the tutorial, and there were things that I didn't know in there. So just do it, you will absolutely see the benefits from doing so. There are 2 levels to the tutorial, the basic and advanced tutorials. I'd very much recommend that you do them both because they're both pretty straightforward, but they will give you vital information about the controls of the game and how to play. I'd actually recommend that you do the tutorial a couple of times so that the information really sinks into your brain and you can commit these things to your muscle memory as early as possible. It starts off by just teaching you things like driving forward, using boost, jumping, as well as things like dodges, which is the act of flipping your car in a certain direction, and it goes into more advanced things like double jumps and power slides and even more. So definitely do that. It's absolutely worth it and you will not regret doing so. Once you have completed the tutorial, you will be put into free play, and free play is an absolute gem for improvement in this game. Up at the highest level of the game, players will commit hours upon hours to free play just to fine-tune their mechanics. It allows you to throw your car around the place without any consequence and without any pressure from the opponents, and you can really do a lot of work learning the controls in free play. I would always recommend a free play warm-up of at least 15 to 20 minutes before every session that you play. What you're going to do in free play is just drive around, getting to grips with how your car moves, all the little turning radiuses of the cars, or radii. Is it radii or radiuses? I think it's radii. These are going to be your main core skills that you will need to practice. Practice your jumps, practice your flips, practice your double jumps, practice your boost, and practice your power slides. All of these things are going to really be your core fundamental mechanics in this game. One drill that's very useful to do in free play is just to hit the ball at the wall, try and catch it off the bounce and try and hit it again, and try and get some solid contact on it. It's something that will take a little bit of practice, but it is a really useful one, but we'll get into that in the next episode as well. The next logical thing to point out at this point would be something else that's alluded to in the tutorial, and that is using ball cam. When you are in free play, or in a game, or anywhere for that matter, you will be wanting to use ball cam approximately 80% of the time. To toggle ball cam, you use your triangle button, or Y button for Xbox controllers, or spacebar for keyboard and mouse players. But ball cam will basically allow you to see what the ball is doing at all times, and it is an essential skill to making your way up through the ranks. Using ball cam can feel a bit alien at first, and you might be tempted to say, nah, I don't think this is really for me, but trust me, I was this person once, and after a week or 2 of using ball cam, this strange feeling you get when using it will just completely disappear. There are a very few situations in the game where you will opt to not use ball cam, but we'll get into those as the guide progresses in future episodes. But for now, I would just recommend that you keep ball cam on as much as you possibly can. So now we move on to the in-game training packs. There are 3 separate types of training pack built into the game: striker, goalkeeper, and aerial training packs. They're fairly self-explanatory, but basically, striker is a shooting pack, goalkeeper you make saves, and aerials you learn to fly. Each of these 3 packs contains 3 different levels: Rookie, Pro, and All-Star. The Rookie and Pro levels are pretty basic, particularly for the Striker and Goalkeeper packs, and ideally, you'll probably want to be able to hit all the shots in the Rookie and Pro Striker and Goalkeeper packs before your first online match. You should probably aim for at least 50% in the All-Star packs for these ones as well, but give it a go and see how you get on with it. Obviously, with a striker training pack, you're going to be wanting to put the ball into the goal. That kind of goes without saying, but try to pay attention to where exactly you want to place the shot, as it's always quite a good idea to get yourself in the habit of doing so, because when you get into an online game, you're going to be wanting to place that ball somewhere that is more difficult for the goalkeeper to reach. And for the goalkeeper training pack, try to make sure that when you hit the ball to make the save, that you are trying to clear the ball out towards the sides of the fields rather than straight back down the middle, because it's a really good habit to start getting into as early as possible. It's going to make things much more difficult for your opponents to deal with when you get into online games, and you'll be surprised at how many people, even at the highest level, still fail to do this. The aerial training pack is one that's a little bit more challenging, and as a beginner you might find this a bit too difficult to start off with, but certainly give it a try. The tutorial advises you how to start on aerials, but we will be going into a more of a deep dive into aerials in the next episode of the series. There are also lots of custom user-created training packs available in here too, and once you have done the in-game ones, you might want to give these a go, but again, you'll probably find some of them a little bit more advanced for you. There are some beginner ones, but quite a lot of them are quite technical, but there are many custom training packs available to choose from, and we'll go into some of those a little bit later on in the series as well. And now that you have done the tutorial and the in-game training packs, you should be ready for your first match. Some people will recommend that you play an exhibition match against the AI bots, but honestly the bots in this game are so bad that I really don't think it's worth it in my opinion. I think you're much better off just jumping straight into the deep end and learning to play and testing the skills that you've learned against other sentient beings. So go ahead, hop into casual, test out your skills and see how you get on with this. When you are in your first match, I would highly recommend prioritizing the defending of your net, as the chances are your teammates will not be doing so. But at this stage, the most important thing is that you get out there and have fun putting into practice the new things that you have learned. We will go over match strategy and stuff in a couple of episodes' time. But with all this information, go ahead and practice those things and then dive into some online matches, and I suspect you will see some improvement in your game as a new player. But that just about does it for this one, so thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you found this helpful. And as I said earlier, if you want to come by and hang out with me on stream, feel free to drop by, there's a link in the description below. And if you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments if you found it helpful. But that'll do for now, and until next time, bye!